anything he wanted with that money. There's no trust that dictates what he could do. That is his money, right?
I mean, I don't know what a divorce attorney would say about that, but otherwise, yes.
They weren't getting divorced, right? So you're married, happily married people. You can just go and take whatever money you want out of your account, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to call a divorce attorney to do that. That's your right to do whatever you so choose with the money in your account, right?
That's correct.
You may come home and your partner may be a little upset with you, but certainly there's no law that he couldn't have done whatever he wanted with that money, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the next month. This is Mr. Fernandez's checking account, correct?
Yes, sir.
Same a statement I showed you before, except for this is the next month, 128 to 227, correct?
That's correct.
Still has $158,000 available to him, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the following month, right? Same accounts.
That's correct.
This is after the homicide, 228 to 327, and he had 158,000. The ending balance was 96,000, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and that was his own personal checking account.
That's correct.
Now, you suggested to the jury that he transferred $50,000. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
He transferred it to himself, correct?
He transferred it to the LLC.
First Choice Home Rentals.
Yes.
So it didn't come from the Gardner Trust, right? So if it was ever suggested to this jury that Mr. Fernandez transferred $50,000 a week after the homicide from the Gardner Trust to himself, that would not be true, would it?
I think it's a mischaracterization in the way you're stating it.
I want to make sure it's crystal clear. If it was ever represented to this jury that Mr. Fernandez transferred $50,000 from the Shanna Gardner Irrevocable Trust 1 week after the homicide to himself, that would not be true, would it?
At least part of those assets would have come from the trust, yes.
What assets came from the trust, detective? I just showed you that Mr. Fernandez had $212,000. Then the next month he had $196,000. He had plenty of money in his own personal checking account, right?
Yes, that would have come from the trust.
We just talked about that on 12/28 he deposited $75,000 from the Gardners, right?
Yes.
It didn't come from the trust, did it?
Overall, I'm saying the amount of money that he was only making $37,000 a year.
We have to be really careful with our words.
I agree.
Money goes from the trust account to, and I'm going to walk you through it. We're not going to guess, trust me. We're going to go through every single trust account record to see where that money went. But I'm asking you a very basic financial question. You can transfer money from the Shanna Gardner Trust to Mr. Fernandez. He could do that if he wanted to, correct?
Yes, he was the trustee.
That did not happen. That $50,000 did not come from the trust account, did it?
No, that specific transaction came from his account.
Right. And let's say on December 28th, Mr. Fernandez got $75,000. That could have come from the Irrevocable Trust, hypothetically, right?
Yes.
But it didn't. And this is why I want to make sure that words matter. Shanna Gardner's parents, Shelley and Sterling Gardner, wrote him a check for $75,000 at the end of the year, right?
Yes.
That's where that money came from.
The assets are commingled.
They're not.
They wrote him a $75,000 check, and he did transfer $50,000 from his account.
Okay. We're really going to figure this out together. The Gardners live in Utah, right?
Yes.
And they're private wealth clients of Chase Bank, correct?
Yes.
Because you know that because it says it right on the check. $75,000. This is an example of the two checks that the Gardners gave them, right?
Yes, sir.
You're saying it was commingled, it all came from the same place. This came from a checkbook as a Chase private client from Shelley and Sterling Gardner, right?
Yes, sir.
From their bank account, right?
Yes, sir.
That did not come from the irrevocable trust, correct?
No, that check was, the check that you just showed me was deposited into the trust.
Right. And the identical check, with the exception of it saying Shanna Gardner, it said Mario Fernandez, right?
Yes.
And that came from the Chase private wealth management banking account of Sterling and Shelley Gardner, right?
Yes, sir.
So that didn't come from the irrevocable trust, right?
That specific $75,000, no, it did not.
Okay. And in addition to all the other money that Mr. Fernandez had, you're saying, well, it's all commingled. It came from the irrevocable trust. Isn't that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Well, $35,000 of it came from Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville when he sold his Tesla, right?
Yes.
That didn't come from the Shanna Gardner Irrevocable Trust, did it?
I mean, you'd have to go back and look and see. You'd have to have a much larger picture of knowing where the Tesla was purchased from.
The check came from Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, right?
For an asset that was sold to them, but we don't know how that was purchased.
You don't know. So you can't say it came from the Gardner Irrevocable Trust, can you?
You're correct, I can't.
Right. Because you know for sure it came from Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about two things that we know for sure. $75,000 came from the Gardners personally, not the trust account, right?
That's correct.
And $35,000 came from Mercedes-Benz. Right?
Yes.
So that's $110,000 right there that we know for a fact did not come from the Gardner Trust, right?
It would depend on how the Tesla was purchased. There's no way to know that with the records that we currently have.
You're saying that whenever he bought the Tesla, when did he buy the Tesla?
I don't remember exactly when it was purchased.
So you don't even know if he was married when he bought the Tesla, do you?
Off the top of my head, no.
So you're trying to insinuate that possibly it could have come, this asset could have come from money that was given to him through the trust account for an asset that you don't even know when it was purchased, right?
I'm just saying that that is a possibility versus just saying that the Tesla was his outright. And so the money that he got from Mercedes-Benz was his and did not originate from the trust or the Gardners.
Well, let's circle back.
Okay.
Let's go to the trust. No. Let's go to the trust account.
Mr. Dreicer, could we take a break?
Sure.